Have you ever found yourself sitting quietly, wondering how life ended up like this? The house is quieter now. The phone doesn't ring as much. Days go by, and sometimes, it feels like no one really sees you anymore. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Aging, especially when you're on your own, can feel heavy. You might not have expected things to turn out this way. Maybe your spouse has passed, your kids live far away, or your friends have moved on. It's not easy. And I want to start by saying, I see you, and what you're feeling is real. Growing older brings a lot of change. Some of it is physical, some emotional, and some of it just sneaks up on you. One day, you're surrounded by people, plans, and responsibilities, and then suddenly, it's just you and the silence. It can make your world feel smaller. But here's the truth, being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. Life can still be meaningful, joyful, and even exciting, yes, even now. You still matter. You still have a story to write. And today, I want to talk to you about the small things, the daily habits, that can help you feel more connected, stronger in your body, clearer in your mind, and most of all, happier in your heart. In this video, we're going to explore 6 simple things you can do every single day to make your life feel fuller and more enjoyable, even if you're aging alone. These aren't complicated or expensive ideas. They're not about pretending everything is fine either. They're about real, doable changes that can bring peace, joy, and a sense of purpose back into your days. Now, before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from? Comment below and share your city. I always enjoy hearing from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. Point 1. Establish a daily routine. Now, I know some people think routines are just for when you're working or raising a family. But routine becomes even more important as we grow older, especially when we're living alone. Think about it. When you don't have to get up for work or care for someone else, your days can start to blend together. One day feels like the next, and before you know it, the week is gone, and you're left wondering where the time went. Without structure, it's easy to lose that sense of direction. You might wake up later and later, skip meals, stay in pajamas all day, or fall into habits that make you feel even more disconnected from the world. But when you create a simple, comforting routine for yourself, something you do every single day, it gives your life shape again. It gives you purpose. And let's be honest, we all feel a little better when we have something to look forward to. Your routine doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to feel right for you. Maybe that means waking up around the same time each morning. Starting your day by making your bed. Having a good breakfast, even if it's just a piece of toast and a cup of tea. Sitting by the window for a few minutes to get some sunlight. These may sound like little things, but they set the tone for your whole day. One gentleman I spoke to, he's 77 now, told me that after his wife passed, he stopped doing everything. He'd wake up whenever, sometimes skip lunch, and spend the whole afternoon watching TV. He felt numb. But then he decided to write out a routine, nothing fancy. He planned his mornings with a walk, a light breakfast, and 10 minutes of journaling. He called his daughter every Wednesday. Friday was his soup night. Slowly, he started feeling like himself again. The routine reminded him that his days still mattered. That he still had control over his life, even if things felt different now. Point 2. Prioritize physical movement. Let's be honest, as we get older, it becomes easier and easier to slow down. And I get it. The body doesn't move the way it used to. Maybe your knees ache, your back feels stiff, or you just don't have the energy you once had. So you tell yourself, I'll sit down for a bit, and before you know it, most of the day has passed, sitting. But here's the thing, the less we move, the harder everything becomes. And I'm not talking about running marathons or doing hard workouts. I'm talking about simple, daily movement, enough to keep your body strong, your joints flexible, and your mind alert. Because movement doesn't just help your muscles, it actually helps your mood, your sleep, your memory, even your independence. You know what one of the most common regrets is for older adults? It's not moving enough. They say, "I wish I had kept walking. I wish I had kept stretching. I didn't know how fast I'd lose my strength." But the good news is, it's never too late to start again, and even the smallest bit of movement each day can make a big difference. One woman I met, she's 80 now, used to be a school secretary. After she retired, she said she stopped moving much. She'd spend her days sitting on the couch, watching TV or reading. Then, her legs started feeling weak. She got winded going up the stairs. And that scared her. So she started something simple, just walking around her living room a few times each day. Then around the block. Now, she's part of a walking group at her local community center, and she says she feels better than she did 5 years ago. It's not about doing a lot, it's about doing a little bit, every day. A short walk in the morning. A few stretches while you're watching your favorite show. Even getting up from your chair and sitting back down 10 times in a row, that counts. Movement keeps your blood flowing, your balance sharp, and your energy up. And if you have limited mobility, there are still options. Chair exercises, gentle yoga, or even lifting small weights, like soup cans, while sitting can help maintain your strength. Point 3. Stay socially engaged. One of the hardest parts of getting older, especially when you're living alone, is the way people slowly start to disappear from your daily life. Maybe your spouse has passed, your friends have moved away, or your children are busy raising their own families. And slowly, without realizing it, your world gets quieter. You go days without talking to anyone. You might even start to feel invisible. And here's the thing, loneliness isn't just a sad feeling. It affects your health too. Studies have shown that social isolation can increase the risk of heart problems, depression, and even memory loss. In fact, some doctors say being lonely is just as harmful as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. That's how serious it is. You don't have to accept loneliness as your new normal. You have more power than you think to stay connected, even if it takes a little courage to reach out. Let me tell you about Frank, a kind man I met who's 82 now. After his wife passed, he found himself alone in a big house. He told himself he was fine, that he didn't want to bother anyone. But truthfully, he missed hearing his own voice. So, one day, he decided to call his old neighbor, just to say hi. That call turned into weekly chats. Then he joined a local seniors group that met once a week for coffee. Now, Frank says he feels like he has something to look forward to every day. You don't need a big social life to feel connected. Even 1 or 2 meaningful conversations a week can lift your spirits. A phone call, a video chat, a walk with a neighbor, or even just talking to the cashier at the store, all of it counts. Human connection is a basic need. And you still deserve that closeness, that laughter, that feeling of being seen and heard. And if in-person connection is hard for you right now, remember, technology can be a friend. You can join an online book club, play games with others, or even learn something new with a group over Zoom. It may feel strange at first, but many older adults are finding real friendships online. It's never too late. So here's what I want you to do: reach out to one person today. Just one. Maybe it's an old friend, a cousin you haven't spoken to in years, or a neighbor you usually just wave at. Say hello. Ask how they're doing. You never know, they might be needing that connection just as much as you are. Point 4. Keep your mind stimulated. Let's talk about your mind, that incredible part of you that's been with you through every chapter of life. It's easy to think that as we get older, we're supposed to slow down mentally. Maybe you found yourself forgetting names or walking into a room and not remembering why. It happens to all of us. But here's what you need to know: your brain still wants to grow, explore, and stay sharp, no matter your age. A big mistake people make in their later years is assuming that mental decline is just part of getting old. But that's not entirely true. While some changes are natural, there's so much you can do to keep your mind strong, alert, and full of curiosity. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. Now, don't worry, you don't need to go back to school or learn something huge. Keeping your mind stimulated can be simple and even fun. Reading the newspaper, working on a puzzle, listening to a podcast, writing in a journal, or learning a new word every day, these small things help your brain stay active and engaged. Let me tell you about Janet. She's 74 now and used to be a schoolteacher. After retiring, she found herself watching TV for hours and not feeling as mentally sharp. She started forgetting things and it scared her. So, she made a change. She began reading again, just 10 pages a day. Then she picked up crossword puzzles and started practicing Spanish on a free app. It wasn't about being perfect. It was about keeping her brain alive. And now? She says she feels more confident, more alert, and even sleeps better at night. Mental stimulation isn't about doing hard things. It's about doing new things. Trying a new recipe, learning a card game, writing letters, or even switching up your routine forces your brain to stay awake and flexible. And the best part? It helps fight off boredom, sadness, and even loneliness. When your mind is engaged, your mood lifts. You feel a sense of progress, like you're still moving forward, still growing. You are never too old to learn, grow, or surprise yourself. Keep feeding your mind, it's one of the best gifts you can give yourself. Point 5. Practice gratitude and reflection. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you paused and really thought about what you're grateful for? Not in a big, dramatic way, just in the quiet moments, like enjoying a hot cup of coffee, or hearing a bird sing outside your window. Because the truth is, gratitude and reflection can completely change how we feel about life, especially in our later years. As we grow older, it's so easy to focus on what we've lost. People we miss. The things we can't do like we used to. The health struggles, the loneliness, they're real, and I would never ask you to ignore them. But at the same time, we can train our minds to notice what's still here. What's still good. And the more we do that, the more peaceful and uplifted we feel, from the inside out. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything's perfect. It's about choosing to see the good, even when life is hard. And once you start, it becomes easier to spot those little moments that bring comfort or even joy. Let me tell you about George. He's 79, a retired firefighter who lost his wife a few years ago. For a long time, he couldn't stop thinking about the past, all the things he missed. He'd sit in the same chair every day, stuck in his memories. But then someone suggested he start writing down just 3 things he was grateful for each morning. At first, it felt silly. But over time, something shifted. He wrote things like, "The sound of rain this morning," or "My neighbor waving to me." And slowly, his days started to feel a little lighter. His heart, a little fuller. Reflection goes hand in hand with gratitude. Just spending a few quiet minutes each day, breathing deeply, sitting in the sunshine, or even praying, helps clear your mind. It gives your emotions space to breathe, especially when you're carrying sadness or stress. It's a chance to let go, to process, and to remember what's truly important. If you've never tried this before, start small. At the end of the day, just ask yourself, what made me smile today? It might be a phone call, a warm blanket, or a funny memory. Write it down if you can. Even if it's just one thing. Point 6. Find a way to help others. Now this last habit might surprise you a little. Because when you're feeling lonely, tired, or like you don't have much left to give, the last thing you think about is helping someone else. But here's something truly powerful. One of the fastest ways to feel better, to feel needed again, is to help another person. You see, when we give, even in the smallest ways, we stop thinking about what we've lost or what we're missing. We shift our focus outward. And that shift creates something beautiful. Purpose. Connection. Fulfillment. Helping others doesn't just make their day better, it transforms yours. Now, I'm not saying you need to sign up for big volunteer jobs or spend hours doing something strenuous. It could be something as simple as checking in on a neighbor, sending a kind note to an old friend, or offering a listening ear to someone going through a hard time. Even sharing a smile or a compliment can lift someone's spirits, and your own. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 82 now, a retired nurse who once had a full life of caring for others. After she stopped working and her kids moved away, she told me she felt like she had no use anymore. That was a painful feeling, like life had moved on without her. But instead of sitting in that feeling, she started volunteering just once a week at her local food bank. It wasn't glamorous. She packed bags and gave out groceries. But something changed. She began to smile more. She made new friends. She felt needed again. And that's the key. You still have value. Your experience, your wisdom, your kindness, it all matters. The world needs it. Whether you choose to mentor someone younger, help a neighbor carry groceries, write letters to a local senior center, or simply be the kind voice someone hears in their day, you're giving life to someone else, and to yourself. Helping others reminds you, you're not invisible. You're not done. You are still part of something bigger. So today, ask yourself, who can I help in some small way? It might be the very thing that helps you, too. So now that we've talked about all 6 of these daily habits, I want you to take a quiet moment for yourself. Just breathe. Think about everything we've covered. I'm not here to tell you how to live. I'm just here to remind you of something you may have forgotten: your life still matters. Your days still have value. And even if you're aging alone, you are not alone in how you feel. Getting older brings change, some of it hard, some of it beautiful. Yes, the people around you may have shifted. The pace of life may have slowed. But you are still here. And with a few intentional choices each day, you can shape the kind of life that feels good in your heart. A life that brings peace, comfort, and meaning. You still have so much left to give. So much joy to feel. So many peaceful mornings, warm meals, and conversations waiting for you. Don't give up on the days ahead. They can still be yours to shape. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Will you leave a comment and share one thing that really spoke to you today? What habit are you going to start with? Your words matter. And you never know, your comment might be just the encouragement someone else needs right now. If this video gave you hope or made you feel a little more seen, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support means the world, and it helps us keep creating content to inform, inspire, and walk beside you. Thank you for spending this time with me. You're not forgotten. You're not alone. And I hope to see you again in the next video.